Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I promised it yesterday. I wanted to come to Milano also to make a beautiful video with San Siro in the background. Believe me or not, this is San Siro. You can see the cylinder, real legendary, iconic stair. Unfortunately, we see nothing. Guys, I promise you I never saw a city with that much fog. Look at that. It's full of fog, you see zero. It's impossible. Let's get a bit closer and then of course, like the thumbnail is telling you, we will speak about Paul Pogba, and also I have the paper, so let's go a bit about Mercato because Gazzetta dello Sport is really pushing on one big player and Tuttosport is confirming one that could possibly leave in January. So we have a few news. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This video cost me 30 euro. Why? Because instead of going to, like every human, to the hotel after arriving to the airport, taking a car, a Pullman, you know, that autobus for 1 hour, I should have gone to the hotel to put my luggage there. No, I said, you know what, I will go to San Siro. Look at that. I will go closer. Come with me. We go to the famous stairs of San Siro. You know, they are preparing everything for tomorrow, Italy against France. You can see here the digital screen. Oh, maybe we start seeing a bit two of these cylinder famous iconic stairs. But that's it, guys. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. So 30 euro, just like that. But anyway, the ambiance of San Siro is not bad. It's not bad. Even if, unfortunately, we cannot see too much. Now, speaking about the papers, you can see that I bought Gazzetta dello Sport, I bought Tuttosport. I show you. In Gazzetta, you will see also a Maxi page inside where you see Paul Pogba here. Pogba, it is over. Divorzio con la Juve. Divorce with Juve, it's over. Has been announced yesterday by Juventus on their sites, on Instagram, on Twitter, on their official Juventus.com site. The story is over. We knew it already, so it's absolutely not a surprise. Maybe a surprise for the few that were still saying, let's go for it a last time. Let's try until the end of the season. But now it's official. It's official. It's over with Paul. I have someone. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Ah, I thought that someone wanted to speak with me, so no. Pensavo volessi salutarmi.
Sì, no, mi facevi... era una bella vista.
Grazie. So sorry guys, I was interrupted. No, so it's official. Look, the only detail that yesterday has not been communicated is that Paul Pogba has the contract until the end of November, so it will continue till the 30th of November, and then it's over. He can go to whatever club he wants. We don't know about the future. You saw what the thumbnail I put two Paul Pogba, a young Paul and the actual Paul. Which Paul Pogba will I remember? I will tell you in a second. It's a pity. It's a real pity, but I think it's the most rational choice that Juventus could make. Paul Pogba gave a lot to Juventus in that first spell. It's a player that I was wrong in wanting him back. I was the first one to celebrate. I was the first one on the channel to say he will come back. I want him to come back every summer. You remember the endless summer with waiting for Paul, and then he didn't arrive. At the end he arrived, I celebrated, and a lot of you told me, Beppe, will not end well. Injury-prone player, problems out of sight of the field with Manchester United, so it's not the most reliable player. I listened to my heart and I put all your advices aside, and I was the first one to say Paul Pogba to Juve is the best thing ever, or him being back at Juve is the best thing ever. It didn't end well. Of course, we could have maybe anticipated the injuries, but probably not how worse the situation went with familiar problems, with doping, because that's what we are speaking about, and that's why Paul is not playing because of doping. But I will always remember that first Paul Pogba, the Paul Pogba 1.0, that according to me was really a generational player, a player that changed probably the way that we are seeing football today. Back then, probably 2012, 13, 14, we're not really speaking about these big, huge stars of football that we were loving, of course, for what they were doing on the field, but maybe less for what they were doing also outside of the field. And Paul was that guy that maybe changed the game. Today we are speaking about huge stars, big sponsorships. We are speaking about VIPs, about on and on the field VIPs. And I think that Paul Pogba accelerated that. It was to come. It was plenty. That was the logical thing from how the world is changing with social media. But I think that Paul was that able to make people fall in love, youngsters that were watching him, old people that were watching him, but also people that had maybe no interest in football that were starting to watch football for him. A player that on the field was incredible, was able to make the difference, to change a game. That touch, that small, short space dribble, that shot from the distance, the headers, the importance, that physicality, what a player. I will always remember that first Paul Pogba, but I will also remember always the Paul back, the one that comes and takes one bad choice after the other. I will always have that regret that I never saw Paul Pogba playing live on the field. But it is what it is, ragazzi. Maybe if I have some time, some inspiration, I will make a detailed video about Paul, about all what he gave to Juve with some statistics, the good things, the bad things that he did, going in detail. But I wanted to say au revoir, Paul. And for the people that were still believing there is a chance that he will come back, no. No, he will not come back. Just to tell you about numbers, and then we go towards the other part of the video. If he would have stayed, it was until the end of the year or the season, from March to June, July, that you needed to pay his salary, plus next season, because he still has a contract. That was 30 million euro gross. 30 million euro gross that you are actually avoiding, saving. And with the fact that you found a mutual agreement, which is extremely important for Juve, because mutual agreement, black on white, means that actually there are no court things that can happen. There is absolutely no possibility that Paul will blame Juve or asking for money. Well, that money you can, because it was parked, it was there, frozen, you can take it back and maybe invest in something else on Mercato decision, and we will need it. Especially because if you are looking at Gazzetta dello Sport, let me open the page that I wanted to show you and speak about. What do we see? Let me open it. I'm freezing with my hands, guys. Sorry. If I can find a page fast, I will find it. We will see a huge big page. That was the page I was looking for. Gazzetta dello Sport is really sponsoring Skriniar. Skriniar Juve si può fare. Skriniar Juve, it is possible. And then that big page about Paul, but I believe that we spoke a lot about Paul Pogba. Skriniar Juve si può fare con diplomazia, with diplomatic talks with Giuntoli that needs to speak with Paris Saint-Germain, because the salary of Skriniar is 10 million euro gross per year, which is huge, which is really a lot, which Juventus has absolutely no intention to spend. Look, it's the only paper, Gazzetta dello Sport, that is speaking about Skriniar. More and more every single day. No other paper is reporting. Corriere dello Sport is not speaking about him. Tutto Sport is not speaking about him. But here you see a clear decision from Gazzetta dello Sport to not only mention him between other names, but also to make a double page about Skriniar to Juve in January. Possible on loan, with the possibility to have maybe an option, to have maybe an extension of loan next year, or maybe to sign him obligedly from Juve with from Paris Saint-Germain with an option. Skriniar is a name that we need to monitor. When they go that huge, that big, it's a name that we need to monitor. Let me know what you think about it. On the other side, we have a Tutto Sport that is speaking about Thiago, un terno a gennaio. We have some candidates for Thiago Motta for January, and they're speaking here about Dragujin and Kivior, two names that have some possibilities for a reason or another to come on loan, not signing, especially not Dragujin. From the information that I have from Dragujin and Tottenham has absolutely no intention to sell him, especially with the injury from Van de Ven. But it's a player that could possibly join on loan because he's pushing. So it's not Tottenham, but it's him pushing to find more space. And he finds that opportunity now at Juve. He knows that we are lacking defenders, that he could possibly join Juve on loan until the end of the season. Kivior, it's another discussion. It's a player that we know it. He knows Thiago Motta. It's a left foot player that can take two roles, the one of Cabal as a left back, but also left center back. So it's a beautiful opportunity because he's not playing at Arsenal. I think that these choices are more logical, more possible for Juve than a Skriniar, where we are speaking about a lot of money. Especially because if you saw that first page of Tuttosport, without entering in the detail, you see also a third name. You see Zirkzee. Now, I'm not here to tell you Zirkzee will join 100% Juve or not. I'm telling you that Juventus, they need to go also for an offensive player. And the name that you can see inside of Tuttosport is the one of Bangula. So not only Gazzetta, that 2 days ago was really pushing Bangula as one of the players that could possibly leave Juve, but also Tuttosport is telling us, attenzione, we find some confirmations that Bangula could be a player sacrificed in the winter already, so immediately. He doesn't want to. He wants to take his chance as much as possible at Juve, but if he knows that at Juve they need to make a sacrifice and beautiful offers come, 10 million euro in terms of value, but also a beautiful salary and maybe much more space for playing for Bangula, well, it could possibly leave in the winter, because Juventus, they want to go for a player that could possibly take two roles. The one on the wing, but also especially the one behind Dusan Vlahovic or instead of Dusan Vlahovic. So Juventus wants to go for two, if not three players, two in the back and one offensively. So pay attention, Mercato will be crazy also in the winter. Ragazzi, I'm really sorry, I wanted to show you the beautiful San Siro, but we see nothing. We see nothing. Ciao ragazzi!
Ciao, buona partita.
Forza chi? Forza?
Forza Italia.
Forza Italia, bravo! So, and that was the video. Ragazzi, I'm sorry for the landscape. I wanted better, but that's Milano. That's Milano. Ciao, Forza! Juve.